Hello everyone, this is Pauks the Fashion Workshop. I remind you that we post new videos every day. Today we continue working with the pattern. I'm going to show you how to make a pattern for the front and how to turn these details into a pattern with the drop shoulders. The technique is pretty similar to the one used for making garments with dolman sleeves. We are not going to get back to any of these measurements. A pattern for the front will be made on the basis of the pattern for the back. The only things which will be different in the front are the chest dart and the balance extension. First, I need to make the shoulder about 8 or 9 centimeters longer. Don't make it too long. I remind you that I'm still working with the back pattern. This pattern is a bit different from the original pattern for garments with the drop shoulders. You know that I prefer fast and easy ways of work. This is why I'm showing you this technique. It's very convenient. Have a look here. The best thing about this technique is that there is no sleeve here in the lower part of the armhole. The sleeve starts higher. Move the end of this line 1 centimeter lower. I can outline the sleeve now. I don't need this line anymore. This one neither. I remind you that I moved the end of the shoulder 1 centimeter lower. That's it. The pattern for the back is ready. I'm going to cut it next. The seam extensions will be included in the pattern. After that, I'm going to make a pattern for the front on the basis of the back detail. I'm sure that you'll make a lot of different garments on the basis of this pattern. There are a lot of different tutorials on how to sew without patterns. I honestly believe that the garment should fit as well no matter how they were made, with a pattern or without it. Do not forget about the seam allowance. 1 centimeter for the center back. I remind you that I've added some for the ease. Don't be afraid to add more than needed. If you do, you'll just make the side seams wider after fitting. The seam extension in the armhole is 7 millimeters. Don't ever add more to the round details. The seam extension in the side seam is 1 centimeter. You can make it wider if you want. I'm not going to do it because the extension for these is big enough in my case. Do not forget to make notches on the waistline. Here it is. I remind you that this is modeling fabric. This is why I'm not afraid of drawing right on it. What do we have here? The shoulder dart, the waist tuck. The pattern looks very nice. I laid the cut back pattern on the fabric. The center back should be right on the fold. Do not forget about the seam extension. The center back itself should be on the fold. Make sure that both the beginning and the end of the seam are in the fold. This is very important. I remind you that the center back is slightly round. The center front will be straight. I don't need to change the bust, the waist or the hips. The length of the shoulder on the front is the same as on the back, but the front shoulder should be made 2.5 centimeters shorter. The shoulder should be even when I close these 2 centimeters wide dart on the back shoulder. That's it. Next, I need to add 3 centimeters for the balance extension. Very nice. After that, I need to draw the front shoulder. Draw it in such a way that the width of the extension here is just about 5 millimeters. I remind you that we are making a pattern for the garments with the drop shoulders. This is why the shoulders look different from the shoulders in the regular patterns.
Вот наше плечо.
Notice that the extension is much bigger here than it is lower. I remind you that I made the front shoulder 2 centimeters tighter because the shoulder should match when the shoulder darts are stitched. Do not forget about that. The shoulders have to match. This is very important. This is how the front shoulder looks like. Next, I need to measure and mark 8 centimeters down from the point on the center front, which is parallel to the shoulder top. This is the neck base. I'll make the front neckline 12 centimeters deep down from the neck base. You can make it as deep as you want. I remind you that I'm making a V-neck top. I'm going to show you how to make different garments on the basis of this pattern. As I've already said, the technique is very useful. I'll use this mock-up as a pattern. I'm going to draw the center front with a dashed line. I'll outline it when I cut the pattern. These are the front neckline and the front shoulder. The side seam is almost ready. I'll outline it when I cut the front. The only thing left to be done is to draw the chest dart. Let's have a look at the chart. The width of the dart opening for my size is 8 centimeters. First, I need to make this line longer. Next, I need to measure and mark 8 centimeters up from it. I need to outline the side seam. I'll draw it 1 centimeter further with a marker pen. When I do it, I'll detach the back detail. This line marks the end of the side seam. The side seam should be made 8 centimeters longer. Next, I need to draw the armhole. This is how the line should look like. The armhole looks very small. When the dart is stitched, this point will be moved here. When it's done, the armhole will be even to the original one. These are the points I'm talking about. They should match. The armhole should be round. This is very important. Next, I need to draw the waistline. After that, I need to measure and mark the bust height. This is the bust height measurement in the pattern. It's 30 centimeters in my case. I'll mark the bust width 10.5 centimeters away from the center front. This measurement is a bit bigger than it is in my basic pattern. This is the bust top. Next, I need to draw the chest dart. Have a look at what I'm doing. The thing is that the chest dart should be 8 centimeters wide. You can place it wherever you want. You can make it horizontal. You can place it a bit higher or lower. I'll draw it here. When the dart is ready, I'll outline it with a marker pen. Make sure that the dart legs are even. 20.7 centimeters. In my case, they're almost even. It's absolutely okay. In my pattern, the dart is almost horizontal. If you make it higher or lower, the dart legs won't be even. I'll add some for the ease extension to the bust. I remind you that the center back was slightly round. Notice that the center front is straight. Next, I need to draw a waist tuck here. I'll make it 2 centimeters wide because I've already added some for the ease. As I've already said, the center back is slightly round and the center front is straight. I'll outline the tucks with a marker pen. I need to add some to the bust because the dart will be stitched and ironed. That's it. Be very attentive. I can start cutting the front now. If you make a pattern for the back accurately, you won't have any problems when making a pattern for the front. Add the balance extension to the front, make a side seam longer according to the dart opening, draw a chest dart. That's it. You don't need any other measurements but the ones used for making the back. I'm drawing right on the fabric because I'm making a mock-up. This is how the cut details look like now. Have a look at the side seams. When the dart is stitched, they will be even. The side seams in the front and the back details should match. This is very important. Let's have a look at the shoulders next. The back shoulder is longer now. When the dart is stitched, they will be even. The armhole in the front detail looks too small. When the chest dart is stitched, the armhole will be accurate. This is how it's going to look like. This part can be made even more round. Try the mock-up on first to decide if you need to do it. This is a pattern for the garments with the drop shoulders. You'll be able to sew a lot of different garments on its bases. I signed the waistline and the bolt details. Those who have slim waists will have to make additional tucks here. Don't ever make the side seams more round. They should be smooth and beautiful. The width of the tucks should be even to the width of the extensions. I don't recommend making the waist tucks more than 2.5 centimeters wide. As I've already said, the technique for making such patterns is pretty simple. Try making mock-ups first. Learn to work with the dot openings and the balance extensions. You can make a lot of different garments on the basis of these patterns. That's all for today. Be different and beautiful. Remember that practice makes perfect. And don't be afraid of experiments. My name is Paukšte Irina. Subscribe to my channel, write comments, share videos, press like and the bell buttons. I would really appreciate your support. Thank you. Goodbye.